again. But just watch over them and keep them safe. And we're asking you to watch over all of us, even in here in the stands here, Lord. But and thank you for the veterans too. But we lift this whole day up to you in your awesome name of Jesus Christ. And amen. And as always, a great big Wisconsin. God bless America.
Amen. Thank you so much, Mark Bud from Racers for Christ. And now performing the U.S. National Anthem is Noah, Sophia, and Stacy from right here in Lena, Wisconsin. So all of you joining us here in the stands at Dirt City, will you please rise and remove your headwear and face the colors for the National Anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, before we get started, let's meet some of our featured pro drivers. First up, this man has 8 career Pro 4 championships, including last year. He has 98 career Pro Truck wins. You already know who I'm talking about. From Abrams, Wisconsin, it's CJ Greaves.
CJ Greaves, of course, going out there and chasing wins, but round 1, 2024, what is your expectation here?
Hey, I'm just glad to be back here racing. It's awesome to start out here at Dirt City. Nice tight track, give you guys some great racing. The weather turned around with all the rain we've had lately to a beautiful sunny weekend, so that's all we can ask for, and hopefully we put on some awesome racing for you guys.
And I know that he will. He's your defending champion in Pro 4 and Pro Stock side by side. CJ Greaves, ladies and gentlemen.
Next up, from De Pere, Wisconsin, your defending Pro Lite champion making his debut in Pro 2. It is Kyle Greaves. He's going to be throwing some swag into the crowd for these fans at Dirt City Motorplex. And Brent, you called it on the Champ Off-Road podcast presented by AMSOIL. You said Kyle Greaves is going to jump into Pro 2. He was going to figure it out immediately and be tough to beat. And he proved you 100% absolutely right. He qualified faster than anybody yesterday.
Yeah, he got the job done, and it's hard to move up in a new class and perform, but you've seen guys like Kyle Kleiman, Keegan Kincaid, moving up through the ranks, going from Pro Lite to Pro 2, and I said, hey, the kid won't miss a heartbeat. His father behind the scenes, Kurt Greaves, trying to get the job done, and man, that's a scary combo, and it's going to be fun to watch. You got a lot of great drivers in Pro 2.
And next up, a driver we're going to see a lot of this weekend in all of Pro Lite, Pro 2, and Pro 4. He's from just down the road in Abrams, Wisconsin. It's Johnny Holcher. Brent, you know Johnny Holcher really well. What's his mindset going into this weekend?
Man, he's got a lot on his plate. You got to give the kid credit. I mean, he's trying to run Pro Lite, Pro 2, Pro 4. Man, he's progressed over the last couple seasons. 19 years old, such a young gun. He's got a brand new Pro Lite this season. I'm looking for big things out of him in the Pro 2 field. He got his first career victory, his first day in the class, so keep your eye on the 44.
Yeah, a lot of opportunity in front of him this weekend, and you know he wants to put on a show in front of his hometown fans here at Dirt City Motorplex. Johnny's going to take a quick half-speed hot lap around the track here. Give you an idea of what these drivers are going to be up against. We saw the track very challenging to the sportsman drivers. They've had to put down some water throughout the day, and they've watered heavily because it's very breezy. The sun's been shining all day. They try to keep that moisture in the track. There is Johnny Holcher out on the race course.
Just the seat time alone that kid's going to get this season. Yokohama tire behind him 100%. HBI on board. I mean, they want what's best for their kid, Don and Jen Holger, and that's what they're doing. They're putting him in great equipment. The kid can drive. He's young, but guess what? He's got a big career ahead of him, and just when he puts his head down, he's really tough to beat.
Well, before we light the fuse, Pro Buggy is first up, by the way. Let's take a GoPro lap around the track here at Dirt City Motorplex. Underneath the finish line, this is deceptively downhill. It doesn't look like it on the camera shot here, but you're flying downhill into turn one. And turn one's tricky because it gets really tight at the very end of it. It's almost got two apexes to it.
Yeah, then you come through the infield section that used to be a split lane. Now it's one lane through there, but there's 3 jumps, and you've really seen a lot of cars get really messed up in practice through here. You got to be light on that gas pedal to move forward.
Back-to-back hairpins here, turns 2 and 3. We'll see drivers mostly try to run the bottom on both of those, but as that race line moves up, we'll see drivers experiment trying to run further outside. It's tough sledding to make a pass on the outside of those corners, but we've seen it done already.
Yeah, you got to go the long way around sometimes if you want to make that pass. Then you come down in here, what we call the hellhole. It gets really carnage fest through there. You have to make sure you hit your marks and hope that somebody behind you don't take you out.
Then a quick dog leg back to the right onto the front straightaway and underneath the finish line, and that is a lap around here at Dirt City Motorplex. And look at that crowd filling out. Like I said before, I love racing in Midwestern small towns, man. The people here absolutely adore off-road racing. These are serious off-road racing fans, not just casual fans. They're in for a treat, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very entertaining, and I promise you, we've been around a long time, Shane, and we get excited just as much as you guys back at home are watching us in person. This is what we live for.
Quick look at the current weather here. The wind has picked up from earlier today, and I can tell you from standing outside a few moments ago, it's gusting a little bit, so dust is going to be an issue. See the temperature there, 82 degrees. Conditions, sunny is an understatement. Hardly a cloud in the sky. It has been beautiful all day, and like CJ talked about just a couple minutes ago, a lot of rain in the area the last couple weeks. Trying to do anything outdoors in Wisconsin in mid-May is a shake of the dice or a toss of a coin, but we have been blessed today with absolutely ideal racing weather.
Such a great crowd on hand, like you said, Shane, and it's hard to get fans to come out and watch, but to us, this is the best sport in the world. You're going to see some great racing throughout this afternoon. The track crew's done a phenomenal job. They're out there working it right now to keep that moisture in the track. And I promise you, you will see a little dust later on in some of these races.
Well, as we wait to get pro racing started here in round one, fans, you can stop by the Champ merch trailer, take a very brief survey, and we talked about temperatures already up in the 80s. You want to keep those ice cold drinks ice cold for longer, pick yourself up a free can koozie for taking that survey. You can also sign up for AMSOIL text alerts and exclusive content and offers and receive a free t-shirt. Just text the word CHAMP to 267-645. You will get a response text. If you show that response text at the AMSOIL booth, it'll hook you up with a free t-shirt.
Yeah, Bryce Menzies t-shirt. It'd be nice to see him come back in our field in Pro 4. It's been a while.
And Brent, what's the best part about being an off-road racing fan?
Yeah, this isn't like NASCAR, IndyCar. You can go back in the pits and go grab your favorite driver, take a picture with it, and you can see Kyle Greaves taking the time out of his day to make everyone happy. And you can go get an autograph, go buy some of their merchandise, and I promise you, a lot of these drivers will remember your faces throughout this season.
Oh,
so
for sure.
Go check them out.
For those of you watching us on FloRacing who've never been to a Champ off-road race, I'm telling you, it's a fan experience like no other. It is loud. It is in your face. You got to be here to see it, and you can meet your favorite drivers all for the same ticket price. Of course, make sure you keep up with everything happening with AMSOIL Championship Off-Road. Follow us on our social channels. Find us on Facebook at Champ Off-Road, on Instagram at Champ Off-Road, on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Champs Off-Road. You can also find our YouTube channel to see some great highlights and video content there as well. Man, we're just getting the season started, but looking ahead at this tour this year. Start at Lena, that's where we are right now. We go to Anigo,
Another short track.
Another short track, which is what we love to see. You know, I say that like NASCAR needs its Daytonas and Talladegas. We have that with Crandon and Bark River, but you need your Bristol and your Martinsville too. It's just a different kind of racing. The vibes are just different at those short tracks. Then traditional dates in June for Crandon. We go to ERX, which has created phenomenal racing. I think every single year I've been out there. Back here to Dirt City for rounds 9 and 10. To your hometown, Bark River, for rounds 11 and 12. And we end the year World Championship weekend, Crandon International Raceway, my hometown.
Yeah, you're not going to want to miss it. Those high-speed straightaways at Bark River and at Crandon. ERX Motor Park, one of our favorite tracks to go to. Just the elevation changes are unreal. If you haven't marked it on your calendar, make sure you check out ERX Motor Park as we see Pro Buggy coming out on track right now. And we have a couple welcome surprises that weren't supposed to be in the field because of a wedding.
Yeah, the big story, the defending champ, Mark Steinhardt, he is gone for a wedding. You'll also notice that Michael Meister is not here. That's because it's Michael Meister getting married to Mark Steinhardt's niece, Caitlin Nelson. Usually Steiny would call on his nephew, Caitlin's brother Jake, to back up drive.
But he's in the wedding.
But he's in the wedding, so he can't be here. So he made a call to Samurai Tony Keepers, who has told us that when he was a kid, Mark Steinhardt was his hero. Steiny said, "Hey, Tony, I know you're going to be there. Would you want to drive my car?" And Tony said, "Yes." So here we are. Tony Keepers making his Pro Buggy debut. But looking at the rest of this field, ton of talent in this one, and this is going to be a really great championship battle. Cole Bernlohr is going to start P1. He's in the number 34. He'll be alongside Dave Mason Jr. in the number 65. We'll also see him in Pro Stock side by side a little bit later on. Billy Booth, the runner-up in points last year, starts third in the number 51. And your top qualifier, Jordan Bernlohr, starts fourth in the number 27. He was wicked fast yesterday. Then outside the inversion, Jaden Lemke in the number 10. Samurai Tony Keepers in the number 31. Ryan Schwalbe in the number 2. He is back with a new car for this year. It's a Funko, making that switch from Alumacraft. He'll be alongside Dave Vandenelzen. Tim Christensen driving today for Logan Christensen. Both of those guys are firefighters. Logan had to answer the call of duty. Tim's going to step in. He's a former class champion years ago in this class. Then you've got Caden Minder. He's coming all the way from Murrieta, California, starting 10th. Ken Murray, or if you're from Crandon, you know him as Redkin, starting in the 11th spot. This is his first race in Pro Buggy. Chase Guerre from Fargo, North Dakota, starts 12th. Herman Barnum starts 13th. And Lorenzo Bonacci, all the way from Riverside, California, starts 14th.
Great group of drivers to take the green flag. We've been waiting all winter long to watch Pro Buggy, and they're underway.
Man, very fast group of drivers in this top 6. Looks like everybody's going to play nice through turn 1, and Cole Bernlohr will have the advantage over Dave Mason Jr.
Look at Mason now coming to the inside. Going to try to push him out going into this turn. And we talked about the long way around. Sometimes early in this race, you got to stay out of that greasy mud.
Yeah, Bernlohr tried the outside and it didn't work, so now Dave Mason Jr. takes over the race lead. It'll be Mason, the Bernlohr brothers, Billy Booth, your top 4 as they go down the back stretch.
There's Mason going down into that hellhole. Look at the dust already starting to fly up on the higher sections.
Yeah, we talked about the wind picking up as this day has gone on. It's going to create some issues for drivers, especially as this track gets really dry towards the end of this race. And look at Mason opening it up over Cole Bernlohr, 1.5 seconds already with only 1 lap in the books.
Yeah, Bernlohr looked really, really quick in practice. You know, he maybe just fell off a little bit. Dave Mason Jr. in that Yokohama tires ride, really trying to check out early. See Billy Booth working his way into the top 5.
And Booth was so close to winning that championship last year, just fell a couple points short at the end of the season to Steiny. He's got his hands full right now battling it out with Jordan Bernlohr. Bernlohr is a guy that got a lot faster last year, picked up that win at ERX Motor Park. Had a chance to talk to Jordan yesterday, and he said, we got that win out of the way, and he said, I'm here to win a championship now. That's what my eyes are set on.
Yeah, that's a big goal, but you know you have the speed. You just got to have that consistency. You have to make sure you finish every race, try to be in that top 5. The points will come to you. As there is Billy Booth now in that blue car for 51, trying to reel in our race leaders. Look at him driving a whole different line through turn 1.
Yeah, Booth trying to stay way down on the bottom. He's looking for that dry track here in the early going. At least that's what it looks like to me from where I sit.
These cars have cutting brakes, though. We talked about the earlier sportsman divisions and some of the truck classes. They didn't have cutting brakes. These guys are really busy in these cars.
Yeah, sequential gearboxes inside there as well. Like you said, very, very busy. It's like Booth falling back a little bit now from Jordan Bernlohr. A couple of second-generation drivers battling it out. Yeah, Booth. Looks like Booth may be experimenting a little bit there too.
Yeah, he's trying different lines.
He's such a technician too. That's kind of how he operates. Is he'll explore the entire racetrack, find the best line for his car that day, and then you'll see him pick up the pace as this race goes on.
Yeah, he's definitely picking his way through, trying to reel in that man right there, Dave Mason Jr. He's doing double duty all season long.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Dave Mason Jr. in a pro buggy. It's like he's picking up right where he left off. This is a big statement for him right now. I mean, made some headlines last year. He was the first factory Honda driver in pro stock side-by-side to win a racing champ off-road. Gonna jump into a class that he hasn't been in a couple of years. He's beating some fast dudes right now.
Yeah, he really is. He's got his head on straight. He's ready to rock and roll in this 2024 season. Bernlohr still holding on to that third place spot.
Yeah, Bernlohr's in second and third right now. There is Booth still trying to reel in Jordan Bernlohr. I'm watching those intervals. A little over 3 seconds from first to fourth, and everybody pretty evenly spaced out right now.
Both the Bernlohr cars trying different lines. Like we say, they're trying everything here in this first half. Track really starting to dry out, going in that 180. This is where they really start to pick up speed going into the hellhole section. You see on our camera, Shane, how fast these cars really get up and go.
Yeah, this big left-hand sweeper is just about wide open for these cars. You see them flying over that tabletop, and then it's hard on the brakes. To one of the tighter turns on the racetrack. Good look at Cole Bernlohr working inside the car there, trying to stay in front of his brother Jordan. We've come to the halfway point already. This race just flying on by. Nobody flying higher right now than Dave Mason is. Bonacci having some issues in the number 33.
Man, can anybody tame Dave Mason Jr. in this race? He's been really rocking fast. I mean, the Bernlohr cars are really looking quick as well, and we're going to take another look at what went down.
We're going to find out why Lorenzo Bonacci was facing the wrong way. Looks like he was trying to put a move on Jaden Lemke. Hold that inside line, and yep, those tractor tires, they will jump out at you.
We weren't lying to you earlier in opening ceremonies. You never know when those tractor tires will be right up your grill there. And I'm telling you, that these open wheel cars, it's really hard to adjust and to make sure you don't hit those tires.
Well, while we're under caution here in Pro Buggy, we'll go down trackside. Haley Shanley has some news for us.
Thanks, guys. Well, are you surprised to see Dave Mason Jr. up front? I certainly am not. You have to look at the diverse portfolio of a driver like this. You mentioned he has raced a buggy before. This is not his first rodeo. It has been a little bit, but look at the formative year he had in the side-by-side last year. We've seen him moonlight in a Pro 2 with AMSOIL Championship Off-Road. We do expect to see him more regularly in other divisions this season. So all the laps that he's getting in multiple divisions across short course off-road racing, and now to see that education convert into leading the race here in the first half, Dave Mason Jr.'s on a roll.
Thanks, Haley. And that's not even to mention all of his desert racing experience. I mean, basically, if you give the guy something with four wheels and tell him to go race it on dirt, he'll give it a shot and probably do pretty well in it.
Yeah, absolutely. And anytime he gets a call, he's going to want to put the car into the racetrack. And I'm telling you, he's doing a phenomenal job. And like Haley said, you know, it's not his first rodeo. He's been around quite a while. Dipped his nose into Pro 2, and I hope to see him back in a Pro 2 because I'm telling you, to run Pro Buggy, it's not an easy task, especially when you have all these great cars behind you.
Well, we're about to get back to our restart. I'm going to keep my eye on Billy Booth. We saw the experimentation in the first half. We'll see what he found and if he can put it to use here, trying to get past Bernlohr. We go back to green here in Pro Buggy, already side by side between Samurai, Tony Keepers, and Lemke down the front stretch.
Everyone getting through turn one very clean. There's Dave Mason Jr. trying to stretch out that gap once again.
And no change in the running order across the entire top 5 on that restart. Who's going to turn up the aggression? That's the real question. Obviously, part of the name of the game in Pro Buggy is you have to be super patient. We talked about them being open-wheel cars. They take up a lot of track space. You really can't get physical in these cars, but who's going to be aggressive, do you think, here in the second half?
Man, I would really like to put my eyes on the Bernlohr cars. You really think that they really got it dialed in, but just to catch Dave Mason Jr. is not an easy task, especially at this little track. You can't afford to make any kind of mistakes, and Dave Mason, he's doing what he needs to do sitting out front.
Mason started on the front row alongside that man, Cole Bernlohr, in the 34. Now we're starting to see this battle between the Bernlohr brothers heat up just a little bit. That's Jordan Bernlohr in the Pro Kart indoor go-karting car in third, blue and yellow car. Here comes Billy Booth, though, not going down without a fight.
Yeah, he was searching in this first half, so he definitely might have found something heading on this fast sweeper. You can see how close they get down to that inside. It's just a big drop-off here down into the hellhole. Booth's really gonna have to light a fire underneath him to get up to the front.
Yeah, time running out too, about 3.5 minutes left on the race clock. Another lap in the books. Dave Mason Jr. from Encinitas, California, trying to make it a flag-to-flag win here in round 1. Which is crazy to think about, adding his talent level into this Pro Buggy class when you already looked at who was here. Guys like Mark Steinhardt, the GOAT of buggy racing, and defending champ, by the way. Billy Booth, how much he's come on. You got emerging guys like Jaden Lemke. The Bernlohrs getting faster every single race they show up. And you had one more fast guy. He's beaten all those guys.
And that's the key to the game. And you talk about Lemke and guys like Billy Booth. I mean, that's our favorites coming into this season because they just keep progressing. They get better and better year after year. As you can take a good look at the dirt, how nice they prep this track. I mean, there's not a lot of dust. It's great, some nice racing. Wow, all squirrely coming off that finish line jump.
Yeah, Jordan Bernlohr got a little bit crossed up. Looked like it cost him a whole lot of position on the track. Yeah, Booth is still running some different lines. I don't know if maybe they might have just missed on setup, but it seems like he hasn't gotten fully comfortable yet. Although, as I say it, here he goes to the inside of Jordan Bernlohr.
Yeah, he's trying to prove you wrong here, Shane. Oh, he opens the door again, lets him down on the bottom. But he might get that drive out. No, Bernlohr proves me wrong.
Dogfight going on for third place on the racetrack. Booth is going to fall back in line.
Watch Booth here. He's going to really try to get up on that top side and cut back underneath. Maybe he can get that drive. There he is. He's side by side. There's that open wheel concept.
Wheel-to-wheel contact. Nobody pays the price for it, but it looks like a drag race down the front straightaway. Booth will be on the inside into turn 1. That's the preferred place to enter that corner.
And he just got on the binders, made sure he didn't push through that turn.
Well, I wondered who was going to be aggressive. I guess Billy Booth answers the call there. That was a pretty aggressive move.
Back up front, Dave Mason Jr. in that Yokohama Tires ride. Oh, we got a flip-flop for second. Look at this. Booth, he's on the man on the move.
Yeah, it's go time right now for Billy Booth. Still has over a second to make up to catch up to Dave Mason Jr. But nothing between those two but a whole bunch of Lena, Wisconsin real estate. Booth, he's got the hammer down.
Yeah, Booth, we talked about him trying to search for faster lines. Obviously, he found him. He's ready to rock and roll in this second half. But time is definitely running out. 45 seconds to go. And Billy Booth is on the move.
Yeah, 2 laps to go in this one. So time running out for Booth. He's got to make up over a second and a half. It's almost going to take a mistake from Mason, but I know, I can tell, my eyes are telling me, Billy Booth is pushing extremely hard right now.
Yeah, he's trying to find another gear, and then track is starting to come to him. We talk about tire grooming throughout our years announcing, and it depends on what you want to set up for. They don't know if they should set up for that slimy dirt, but some guys set up for that hard-packed clay at the end of this thing, and I think Booth and his father really picked a good tire combination.
Well, they'll go into the hellhole once again and fly back down the front straightaway, coming to the white flag. That interval looks like it's shrinking. We'll see what the stopwatch says. Mason will take the white flag here in round 1 for Pro Buggy. Booth took a little bite out of it, but still a long way to go.
Yeah, about a second and a half behind our race leader. There's Dave Mason Jr. in that Yokohama Tires ride once again. Trying to click off this final lap. He's been pretty perfect here this afternoon in round 1 here at Championship Off-Road. Look at that, just sticking up to that cushion. That's where you want to be. Those rear tires need to sit up on there if you want to get a good drive out.
And you can tell Booth is just mashing that gas pedal all the way to the floor, just trying to find anything extra he can get out of that car. I just don't think he has enough time. Just one last time through the hellhole for Dave Mason Jr. Booth keeping him honest, though.
Yeah, Booth, man, he
that
just
was his
ran out of
bonsai
time.
move try there. Dave Mason Jr. is going to take the win. Billy Booth, man, what we could have seen as a battle if we had maybe one more lap. But it'll be Billy Booth settling for second, Cole Bernlohr across the line in third, Jordan Bernlohr in fourth, and Lorenzo Bonacci battles back. Good second half for him. He will finish in the top 5. But how about Dave Mason Jr.? You want to make a statement? Coming into a class full of really talented drivers. Been a while since he's been in this class. Well, he can hang.
Yeah, definitely. He's showing what he can do in this Pro Buggy division as we look at our unofficial results. And it's just crazy to see all the talent and the level of talent in this field. And this season's going to be great in Pro Buggy.
Yeah, like I said, I think this could be the most entertaining championship battle. It was a good one last year, but feels like there's a lot of guys with a shot this year. We'll see how it shakes out throughout the rest of the season. We'll step out for a moment. 1 pro race down, 6 to go, but we'll talk to the top 3 from Pro Buggy right after this. Stay with us here at Mayhem at the Motorplex. We are AMSOIL Championship Off-Road.
If you're looking for the inside scoop as well as exclusive offers and content, you're going to take out your phone, you're going to text CHAMP to 267-645, and then go say hi to your local AMSOIL dealer located on site at all of our national events. Show them the reply text, and you're going to get a Bryce Menzies t-shirt. Again, text CHAMP 267-645. AMSOIL, the first in synthetics and proud supporter of AMSOIL Championship Off-Road.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
For more than 2 decades, Heater Bodysuit has been the go-to product to keep hunters warm and comfortable in the stand. With proven thin-solate insulation, a windproof barrier, and a water-resistant outer shell, you can be 100% confident cold is not in your future. Available in multiple camo patterns and sizes to fit any hunter's needs. You stay warm, or your money back, guaranteed. Learn more at heaterbodysuit.com.
Tim Witt with Tim Witt Chevrolet in Cribbets. I want to thank you for making us the fastest growing Chevy store in Northeast Wisconsin. We are celebrating our 2nd anniversary with the best deals of the year. Come see what everybody's talking about.
Get up to $8,000 off MSRP on the 2024 Silverado Crew Cab. That's $2,000 dealer discount, $1,750 bonus cash, $750 customer cash, $2,500 owner loyalty, and $1,000 trade assistance. Or get 2.9% APR for 72 months. Come in today to Tim Witt Chevrolet.
Your small town dealer with a big heart.
And he confirmed it for us, Dave Mason Jr. But Cole Bernlohr, exciting. Come on down here, because you made that race a thriller all the way to the end there. So I want to know about some of the strategies you were deploying, maybe some of the things your spotter was telling you. Talk to me about it.
My strategy was just follow what that guy did and try and, whenever he made a mistake, try and pounce on it. So I just overcooked a little too much going on the rollers, trying to get into turn 2, a little quicker than he could to make the pass, and I got a little squirrely and ended up getting 3rd. So
great way to start the season. Congrats.
Thank you.
Cole Bernlohr, P3. Billy Booth. Billy, if only for like another lap, the way you came on so strong at the end there, I want to better understand, was this setup or was this in-race strategy, the way you were just a rocket ship towards the end?
It was tire choice. We went with the wider tires with a lot more rubber on them, and the way this track came in, it got really blue grooved in a couple spots, and we didn't have a fast time in the beginning, and once the track started going that way, I don't think we got faster, everybody else got slower and came back to us, and no, the track was awesome today. They struggled a little bit this morning, took some time, got it back in shape, and no, that was so much fun. Maybe we could have got David another lap, but we were hauling the top 4 there. I was surprised at halfway how fast the pace was going. So it's a good way to start the year. Hopefully we'll keep this up. It's going to be a battle this year, like Shane's been saying all summer. We'll see with Dave coming out, and oh man, Cole's getting fast. But just got to thank Alternative Machine Tool, a bunch more tear-offs, my parents, girlfriend, Silas and Joey helping out this weekend. This is a lot. Just feels good to be up here after a long winter of work. Just the logistics it takes to put this on is a laundry list. So it's all worth it when you get up here.
Great run. Billy Booth, P2. Dave Mason Jr., a dominant lead in that first half and again to take home the win. Back to buggy racing this year. Were there any surprises out there for you, or did you just feel right at home?
Oh no, I was pretty stressed the whole way. These guys, I have a ton of respect for everybody in this class. It's been like 10 years since I raced a pro buggy. I used to race in the Lucas Oil days and had a lot of fun, and this is really my favorite class. So getting out there out front, it was like, oh man, don't make a mistake. I don't have a lot of seat time in this new car. We did try and find the best car we could. We bought Larry Job's car, which he did well in last year, and put some new Yokohama tires on it, and man, getting through that rutted track was a little bit hairy trying to keep it straight, but the Yokohama tires held up, no flats, and we're happy to be here on the box.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Okay, a couple more things. Vision canopies, absolutely, thank you so much. Again, Yokohama tires, my whole family, my team, my wife and son Miles, I'm just so grateful. So everybody that supports me, thank you so much.
Incredible. Round 1 winner for Pro Buggy, Dave Mason Jr., guys.
Thank you very much, Haley. Congratulations to the top 3. Don't go anywhere. Next up, we're going back truck racing. Pro Spec right after this. You're watching AMSOIL Championship Off-Road. Welcome back once again to AMSOIL Championship Off-Road. We're here in Lena, Wisconsin, and we're going back truck racing, Shane. Pro Spec coming up next, and this class keeps building year after year.
Yeah, but I think the big story for me is the drivers who are not in Pro Spec this season. Last year's champ, Chad Rayford, taking the year off and reevaluating what he wants to do with his program. The champion from 2 years ago, Gray Ledbetter, also has moved out of Pro Spec. We'll see her later on in Pro Side-by-Side, but the drivers that are here, including some exciting newcomers, I think they're going to put on one heck of a show. Let's look at your lineup here for Pro Spec. Starting on the pole in the number 99, he's from North Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Welcoming a new partner this season, Toys for Trucks. It's Dylan Parsons. That's a guy we watched improve every single race weekend last year. I expect big things out of him in that Toys for Trucks machine. Also joined Team Kenda Tire for this season. He's expecting a really good season, is Dylan Parsons. He'll be alongside Nick Visser, who had a handful of wins last year. He is from Summit Lake, Wisconsin. Chris Vandenelzen from Seymour, Wisconsin will start third. And then 3 rookies in Pro Spec. Ron Cosiza, we've seen him before in Super Stock Truck. He's had a couple podiums in that class. He's making the jump into Pro Spec. Diesel Shannick making the jump from Stock Truck all the way into Pro Spec in that number 3. And then Christopher Parrish driving the number 83. He has raced in FIA Formula 4 USA, which is 3 levels below Formula 1. This guy knows his way around a racetrack.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so cool to see him in an off-road truck. As you can see, we did throw down some more water on this racetrack as Richie Kuloff going to pull off to the right side of your screen, and he's going to unleash these trucks. See who can get their truck to the finish line first. And there's the green flag, Shane. Pro Spec underway.
Man, looks like Nick Visser, the Yokohama Tires machine, got a really great jump on the outside, but here comes Parsons. He's going to battle back. Man, Parsons just bullied Visser off the race line. So it'll be Parsons, the number 99 Toys for Trucks Kenda Tires machine, out front in the early going.
Look at the different lines. Oh, man, Parsons got into Visser. Upside down goes Nick Visser, nowhere to go.
Oh boy, drama here on lap 1 of Pro Spec. See how fast they're able to get him tipped dirty side down. Maybe he can stay on the lead lap as you see Vandenelzen now in that number 2 spot, and Diesel Shannick, the former stock truck champion, up in the number 3 spot in the number 3.
There's Dylan Parsons now trying to file his way back up to the front of the field. There's Diesel Shannick now in that number 3 car.
Wow, Shannick's first race in the truck. He's going up against Vandenelzen. This is his 3rd year in the class. He was even rubbing a little fiberglass there, so clearly Diesel Shannick not wasting any time diving in 2 feet. He'll play along as we're going to go back and look at Visser. See, he is now dirty side down. We'll see how fast he can get that thing refired as the field is coming through quickly. Let's take another look.
Yeah, he just hit the back tire, the left tire of Parsons, and had nowhere to go and just put it upside down.
Yeah, Parsons was turned full lock trying to stay off of Visser there. There was definitely no intent. It's a tough break for Visser, who now will be a lap down, but he pulls in line right behind Parsons. So if he can get back around Dylan Parsons, get that lap back, look forward to that competition yellow. We'll see how that plays out. That's kind of some intrigue. 2 drivers on different laps, but that 1 pass is huge for Visser if he can make it happen.
Yeah, he needs to get that pass done if he wants a shot at this thing. There is Dylan Parsons in that beautiful number 99, an old Casey Curry truck. They revamped that truck to get it into Pro Spec, and it looks really fast already.
Yeah, former winner in buggy classes, 1600 buggy. Did really well in that class, won a championship, in fact. Getting a lot of help from his crew chief, Matt Gerald. Also a former buggy champion, by the way.
Yeah, and they really like those new tires that they put on for this season. They said the truck really hooks up differently, the way they like it to.
And look at Visser. Visser, like I said, trying to hunt down Parsons. He's got to pass Dylan Parsons before halfway to get that lap back and have a shot at finishing on the podium in this race. Not often that we're calling a battle between trucks on 2 different laps with such intrigue.
Right. There's Parsons just hanging it out, going down into the hellhole once again. See the different colors of dirt. Like I say, all day long, you really want to stay into that darker colored dirt to get that run out as Visser just trying to stay in contact.
Try to keep an eye on the margin between those 2. I mean, my eyes are telling me that Visser is closing that gap. And again, Visser right now a lap down after that rollover. You know he wants to get back on the lead lap and hope for a better second half of this race.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. Parsons going to try to stay to that outside. There's no grip there. Look at Visser really trying to muscle his way through that bottom side.
Yeah, everywhere you go, I think it's slippery right now with the amount of water they put down. Saw plenty of dust during Pro Buggy, now in Pro Spec. A little bit smaller field also. You're not turning over the dirt quite as quickly, so less dust and more bordering on mud than anything else. Good battle a little bit further back. That's the battle for third right now between Diesel Shanik and Ron Kosiza. Look at Kosiza go by on the outside.
Yeah.
Oh, and Shanik, I think, was off the pace there. Yeah, Shanik
all these trucks
way
really,
off the pace.
All
Everybody's
these trucks
struggling.
having a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And they might have laid down just a little bit too much water before these guys came out, but with that breeze going on all this weekend, you really want to keep that track tame. Look at Visser just trying to get around him, and there's Shanik in number 3. Tough break for him, his first day out.
Diesel will be splitting time in that truck all season with his brother Neil Shanik. Is more trouble for Visser. That time a tractor tire jumped out in front of him, and that'll effectively end his hopes of being able to run down Dylan Parsons before halfway. It's a tough break for Visser here in round number 1.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be really frustrated not to capitalize on that spot. Being a lap down is just not a good thing. He cannot make up that much ground with these Pro Lite spec trucks.
Yeah, he'll have to almost hope for another caution at some point in the second half of this race. As here comes Dylan Parsons from North Fond du Lac, Wisconsin to the halfway point. He is your leader, still looking for his first career win in Pro Spec. Visser across the line, a lap down. We didn't talk much about Chris Vandenelsen. He was just kind of out there running his own race, but has been in second almost the entire way since Visser ended up on his side.
He's gonna have another shot at this thing, though.
Yeah,
That's
for
what's
sure.
so nice about the mandatory competition caution. Vandenelsen maybe saving a little bit, trying not to tear up his equipment in that first half, but Dylan Parsons looking really, really fast in that Toys for Trucks.
Well, while the track is a little bit quieter, we will head down trackside. Haley Shanley, what's the scoop in Pro Spec?
Well, in my opinion, Dylan Parsons is exactly where we expect him to be. When you consider the foundation that he set in his rookie year, look at what he accomplished. The podium finishes, his expectations continue to climb. And you guys mentioned a name who has been instrumental to his career, Matt Gerald, his crew chief. He said that switch to Kenda tires this year has this truck performing like it hasn't ever before. So they're really happy with the base that they have coming into round 1. They've done a lot of testing right here at Dirt City and Crandon. And he also added that they have been working with guys like Chad Rayford, our last year's champion, and of course, Mikey Vanden Heuvel. They said this truck is in such a good place, and again, a great base. So Dylan Parsons leading this race, I think he's where we expect him to be.
Yeah, Dylan Parsons, he loves to be up front. I mean, making a little contact with Nick Visser, there's nothing he could do. I mean, the truck didn't want to turn, but I guarantee he figured that out for this second half of the race.
And I did see Visser pass the field, although I'm not entirely sure where he is at this point. He hasn't rejoined the tail end of the field. After the caution flags came out, he passed everybody, and yet to be seen again as there is Visser, so he might have been having some issues and trying to get back to the hot pit. We can only speculate on what's going on in the number 80 there.
Right, there could be so many different things gone wrong with that Pro Spec truck. Just tough break when you take yourself out that early in the race.
He's actually just going to rejoin the tail end of the field. I just couldn't see him out the window. He's the one hitting spot on the course down there in turn 5.
He's wishing that he had a lucky dog right now, because there's no way he can win this race. And here comes Vandenelsen. We'll see if he can put the pressure on Parsons.
Wonder what we'll see out of Christopher Parrish driving that Ryan Beat Motorsports truck number 83 in the second half too. He's got a shot at a podium position in his first ever race in Pro Spec. Used to race Pro ATV Motocross, done some FIA Formula 4 racing as well.
Vandenelsen running a different line through there. Look at Visser trying to work his way up.
I got to think that Chris Vandenelsen, towards the latter half of that first half of the race, he knew that Parsons was checked out. There's no point in pushing the truck too hard. I think he's definitely got a little more saved for the second half, but man, Parsons, again, just starting to pull away. He's been flat out flying. He is dialed in.
Yeah, like Haley said, he really loves that new tire combination. Those Kenda tires, they're really moving forward with him. Let's look at Vandenelsen. He's going to have some company. Remember, Visser, he's a lap down, and look at that fiberglass just barely hanging on.
Yeah, Visser's racing for pride right now. That guy is super, super competitive. We see it in the way that he drives that truck.
See Van Elsen putting it up on the bicycle, setting it back down, so it's really getting rutted up down in the infield.
There goes Visser to the inside of Van Elsen, makes a little bit of contact. Now Visser is going to go around, and he makes some contact with Cosiza. Now Cosiza stalls out, and that's going to put Christopher Parrish in the number 83 up into second.
Man, Van Elsen's not going to be happy knowing that Nick Visser's a lap down, taking him out of that top 3 spot. There's a 66, trying to muscle his way back up towards the front. Man, not a good day for some of these drivers.
Yeah, Cosiza just kind of got collected. Look at that front end damage on Cosiza's truck. Completely folded in the left front wheel. Damage to the suspension and linkage down there. And like I said, that was no fault of Ron Cosiza. He came around the corner and there was a truck all of a sudden in the racing line. Nothing he could do about it. It's a tough break for all those guys.
Yeah, Parsons just clicking off laps here in round 1. That Toys for Trucks ride is looking really nice out front. Trying not to over-rotate.
Well, and you look at his performance last year and how much he improved from round 1 through round 13 last year. You had to see that this was coming pretty soon. How much faster he got throughout the season last year. The defending champ not coming back for 2024 with Rayford trying to decide which direction to go with his program. That's a big opportunity for Parsons right now. His season can't start any better than this if he can hold on for this win.
Right, and that's what they're out here to do. They want to win. Like Matt Gerald said, you know, we got all our ducks in a row. We're ready to rock and roll for 2024. And he's doing a fine job running out front.
Christopher Parrish still out there running in the second spot. He comes out of Terrell, Texas. One of the handful of trucks racing out of Ryan Beat's awning. See a couple of them in Pro Lite as well. Of course, Rowdy Beat, the man himself, in Pro 2 a little bit later on.
About 2 minutes to go in this one, Shane, and it's all Parsons out front.
There is Parrish. Had a chance to test just a little bit, but not a lot of seat time in this truck. Like we said, his most recent driving gig was driving on asphalt, so kind of learning as he goes here, trial by fire.
Oh wow, getting a little squirrely going down into the hellhole, and yeah, it's a whole different ball game coming from asphalt to dirt. But he's showing that he can drive one of these trucks, so it'll be interesting to see him throughout the 2024 season, as he's going to click off another lap.
Yeah, we'll see his brother Carson Parrish making his return to Pro Lite in a few moments. But they're out on the track, and look at Parrish goes up on the bike, and that's what can happen in these Pro Lite, Pro Spec trucks.
I think we were talking about him a little too much.
The announcer's curse strikes again. You have to stay on the throttle when you're cornering in these trucks. If they bite at all, they are too narrow. They will just tip over on you. So Van den Elsen is going to come on by back into that second spot. I'll tell you what, taking a look out the window at Nick Visser, he's trying to run down Parsons and get that lap back. Just hoping for another caution to come out for whatever reason.
Yeah, Van den Elsen, he's a little bit more excited about this podium after getting spun out. He puts so much work into his program, doing a lot for the sport, not only his program. So Chris Van den Elsen trying to dig deep. It's not the start he wanted.
Yeah, and Van den Elsen had some lousy luck last year too. Just some unpredictable parts failures, and a lot of things out of his control. Didn't have the season that he wanted. But sitting pretty here in round number 1.
I know, Van den Elsen going through a local caution there. I thought he was going off pace, but Van den Elsen still holding on to that position. As you're right, I see it out our window, and Nick Visser trying to grab that spot back from Parsons, but he is a lap down.
Yeah, there's that battle. Well, I call it a battle. It's Visser racing for pride, trying to get back on the lead lap. Parsons leading the entire race. That won't change if Visser gets past him, but it's just the hope and the dream for Visser that maybe something brings out another caution and he can get a restart on the lead lap.
Yeah,
time running out.
Driving hard.
Yeah, white flag is out. He also just wants to show that he belongs up front. definitely proved that throughout last season.
Man, look at the ruts going through that turn number 1. Parsons just trying to dance over the top of them in the 99 Toys for Trucks.
Yeah, for a smaller field, this track is really chewed up, and kind of some foreshadowing there when we get into like Pro 2, Pro 4, big horsepower trucks. This track's really going to start to come apart. It's going to make for some really challenging conditions.
Yeah, this track definitely goes away, but look at Visser trying to muscle his way up to our race leader. But remember, again, he's a lap down, just trying to, like you said, show that he belongs up front. You'll see it. He's very quick in that truck.
Well, worth pointing out that with Parrish tipped over on his lid, that actually moves Visser up into the top 3, so he is in line to finish on the podium regardless. As there's the checkered flag, Dylan Parsons takes his first career Pro Spec win here in round 1. Visser will cross the line a lap down after ending up on his side in the early going, but will still finish on the podium. And Chris Vanden Elzen across the line in second. That's a good start for his season. Maybe get the monkey off his back and ditch the bad luck that followed him throughout last season. But how about Parsons, man? Looked almost untouchable.
Yeah, he really was. In the first half of the race, he was just trying to figure out that truck once again, and man, didn't have a lot of company. Visser was a lap down, and round 2 is a new day. But Parsons, he's going to live it up this afternoon. He's going to be happy because him and his father, they put a lot of work in it with Matt Gerald and a bunch of other former racers that know how to get it done.
What kind of mindset do you think Visser is going to have coming into tomorrow?
Wide open.
Absolutely. Hey, that's how we do it here in AMSOIL Championship Off-Road. We'll step out for just a moment, and we're going wide open through the rest of pro racing here in round 1 right after this. Stay with us here at the Mayhem at the Motorplex.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
If you're looking for the inside scoop as well as exclusive offers and content, you're going to take out your phone, you're going to text CHAMP to 267645, and then go say hi to your local AMSOIL dealer located on site at all of our national events. Show them the reply text, and you're going to get a Bryce Menzies t-shirt. Again, text CHAMP 267645. AMSOIL, the first in synthetics and proud supporter of AMSOIL Championship Off-Road.
Tim Witt with Tim Witt Chevrolet in Crivets. I want to thank you for making us the fastest growing Chevy store in Northeast Wisconsin. We are celebrating our 2nd anniversary with the best deals of the year. Come see what everybody's talking about.
Get up to $8,000 off MSRP on the 2024 Silverado Crew Cab. That's $2,000 dealer discount, $1,750 bonus cash, $750 customer cash, $2,500 owner loyalty, and $1,000 trade assistance. Or get 2.9% APR for 72 months. Come in today to Tim Witt Chevrolet.
Your small town dealer with...
And we'll catch up with him. Nick Visser, whoa, what a range of emotions you made all of us fans feel out there. I can only imagine what that was like from the driver's seat. So can I ask your thoughts on the incident out there? You obviously rallied back for a podium.
Yeah, you know, at the initial hit, it hit pretty darn hard, and I thought for sure that I was getting towed off the track, and they said go for it, and I'm like, I don't think it's going to. So I hit the button, and she went, and just like old-fashioned, that's why I just give her the rest of what we got, and what we see what the truck's got for the rest of the year anyway. And you know, I was racing against, and we went that track. That corner was hard for us to dial in the whole race. It was a lot of grip at points and slick in another, and you know, stuff happens. Unfortunately, it was the first one, but fortunate enough, the truck's not in too bad a shape. I think I probably put it worse through a worse beating on the track than I did hitting that concrete wall. So kudos to these guys. Sucks we don't have the truck count, but unfortunately it gets me up here on the box anyway. I just want to thank my whole family and everybody that comes out here, you know, puts in their time with our whole program. My other 2 boys they got medals today too, so that's 3 medals for us, 3 cars in the tent, and that's pretty huge coming out the first race of the year, especially in we're in such a crunch here. But just want to thank all my family and sponsors, Chris and Ambos, Yokohama Tires here supporting us always, Parsons, Builder Service, my dad, my parents, all my friends and family, J&J Insulators, Tony at Argon Lumber, everybody else that helps out, thanks. We couldn't do it without you guys.
A job well done. Way to rebound for the podium. Nick Visser, P3. Chris Vandenelsen. A great start for you, but again, all the situations happened out there and you were able to fight your way back up to the podium position. So what was the strategy out there from there on out?
Honestly, it was just stay calm and just try to finish the race and get through. You know, it was an interesting race there, a lot of people flipping, things like that, and the whole time I had Robert Nash on my radio spotting for me, and he's like, just stay calm, let's finish, you know, let's get on podium. So I got to thank Next Entire, Off-Road Anonymous, Diamond House International, EOS Injury Law Firm, Go Lithium, Blood Lubricants, Racer on Demand, Joe's Hand Cleaner, and what else we got here? I think that's it. But anyways, it was a great race, great start to the year, and we're going to hopefully have some more momentum going into the rest of the season.
We look forward to it. We'll see you tomorrow. Chris Vandenelsen, second today. And Dylan Parsons. Dylan, we only get one opportunity to celebrate your first win, so I can understand as a racer you're always looking forward, but have you had an opportunity to reflect on 1 year ago and how far you've come in that year's time?
Yeah, I mean, my team, like everyone behind me, Matt, everyone at the shop at Mikey's, like it's a big family and we just hang out all there all winter. Like it's awesome, like having all those resources behind me, like, and I knew this was gonna happen, and like here it happened. And big thanks to Kenda Tires, Toys for Trucks, Shock Tech, Advanced Coatings, J&J Insulators, Liquid Moly, Vision Canopy, Ibach, Fabworks Co., Flying Dutchman, Ultra Wheel, and my friends watching at home, like one of my really good friends died in a motorcycle accident this week, and that really, like, I waited Thursday to come up to go out by him, like just to hang out with him because his wife died, and I know they're watching at my friend's house right now. I texted him before, so I was thinking about that during the race.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Dylan Parsons, guys. This one is emotional and meaningful, so we'll make some noise. Dylan Parsons, winner for Pro Spec.
Thank you very much, Haley. We're going to step aside for a few moments. We're going to go back side-by-side racing right after this. Pro Stock. Don't go anywhere. You're watching AMSOIL Championship Off-Road.
Yeah, the reason it's so important to have a reliable set of brakes is a lot of these corners we're coming into at 90 miles an hour. It's all about confidence. If you know you're going to stop, you're going to go into that corner a lot faster. If you don't know you're going to stop, you're probably going to slow down earlier. So that's the biggest reason. It's all about confidence in off-road racing. So Hayes Brakes, we've been working with them guys for 3-4 years now. Me and Owen really got to know them guys good. We really trust them, like working with them, and their product is second to none. So it's confidence inspiring.
Mickey Thomas, it seems like season after season, you bring this title fight all the way down to the closing rounds, and here you are again this year, same truck. What is it you're bringing to this season that could make the difference? This is your year for a potential championship.
Yeah, so in the off season, we had to fix some crash damage from Crandon, but other than that, we're coming back with the same truck. We made some minor adjustments. We had a really fast truck last year, so we don't want to change too much. Just come, makes fewer mistakes this year. We figured out a few little things that should help us with durability and finishing the races and help us on a points perspective. So other than that, we're going to come out here attacking. I think there's 7 trucks here this weekend, so now's the weekend to kind of really attack and try to get max points because there's not a lot to lose. So I think everybody's going to be going for it, us included, and it should be a really fun racing.
And let's talk about your preseason. Of course, the AMSOIL Champ Off-Road schedule starting ahead of schedule this year, what we normally see, but that didn't really cut into your preseason testing time, it sounds like. You've been at it for a few weeks.
Yeah, we didn't build anything new, so we were able to get the truck kind of back together and get up here, about a month ago, and we started testing. We got a good test here at Dirt City. Weather was great, so we got really good data. Went up to Crandon, did a few laps, so, knocked the rust off. I'm feeling pretty good. We qualified P3 yesterday, made a few mistakes, but I still think we're in a really good spot. Got a good starting spot today, and, we'll see what happens here.
A likely championship contender once again this year. Mickey Thomas for Pro 2.
Welcome back to Mayhem at the Motorplex. Champ Off-Road round number 1. Let's get right into this lineup. Pro Stock side-by-side coming at you real soon here. Jeb Boodle will start on the pole in the number 41. He'll be alongside CJ Greaves. Greaves, the defending class champion here in Pro Stock. Row number 2 is Owen Van Epperen and Jake Kosmecki. Kosmecki surprised us and surprised a lot of people. He was top qualifier yesterday for Pro Stock side-by-side. Row number 3 is Colin Kearns and Dylan Marquardt. Row number 4, Dave Mason Jr. We just saw him on top of the box in Pro Buggy. He is back in Pro Stock. He'll be alongside Brandon Groh. Row number 5, Jake Jorgensen and Tyson Marquardt. Row number 6, Jack Letourneau and Josh Bayer. Row number 7 is Mike Letourneau and Kyle Keister. And Colin Truitt will start 15th. Not a lot of new guys in this class for 2024, but the talent that's returning from last year and the rising talents that have returned from last year, including that guy on the pole, Jeb Boodle. This is a really exciting group of drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. And anytime you have CJ Greaves in the field, you got to watch out. He knows how to get around these small technical racetracks, and Jeb Boodle, he really wants to put a lick into this field.
Pro Stock side-by-side round 1 underway here. They're going to bring the mayhem to the Motorplex. And Boodle was already getting crossed up. We know Boodle's aggressive, but the mistakes seem to cost him throughout last year. We'll see if he tones that down a little bit.
Yeah,
see him trying to run away from Greaves and Van Epperen. I mean, if Boodle has that kind of speed to pull away from Greaves and Van Epperen, we got a live dog here.
Yeah, big contact there. Owen Van Epperen trying to work his way up to the top 2. There's CJ Greaves trying to hunt down Jeb Boodle.
How about Colin Kearns going to the outside of Van Epperen, and Colin Kearns now into the 3rd spot.
Yeah, Kearns really looking quick here early.
Well,
here comes Van Epperen back
Van
to the
Epperen's
inside.
not going down without a fight by any means. Van Epperen set up on the inside. Man, Van Epperen almost ran out of room because CJ was running the inside right in front of him. Already a lot of dicing, a lot of battling going on. We're only 1 lap into this thing here in Pro Stock.
Yeah, CJ Greaves, look at the different line. He's going down to that bottom as, something happened to CJ Greaves. He pulled off. He's out of this race.
That is about as poorly as you can start a season, especially as the defending champ. You see that red number plate. Oh boy, CJ's title defense not off to a great start, although it does look like he is back underway, so maybe just lost power momentarily, but all the way at the tail end of the field, that leaves Boodle, Van Epperen, Colin Kearns, and Jake Kosmecki out front.
Yeah, Kosmecki trying to run down Kearns there, going towards this fast sweeper. There's Boodle holding on to that lead. Van Eperen in second. Watch as they come down there. They really got to get hard on the brakes.
Yeah, you can see the braking bumps starting to develop down there. Look at Kearns trying to slide across the back bumper there of Van Eperen.
Yeah, look at Van Eperen now really putting the pressure on. Jeff Boodle, both of them in Yamahas.
Yeah, all Yamaha top 3 right now. Boodle goes a little bit wide. That opens the door for the O show, Owen Van Eperen. I think Boodle's got to tighten up a little bit there in turn 1. It looked like Van Eperen gained a lot of ground on it.
Yeah, Van Eperen, he's been trying every different line here early on. Here comes Owen Van Eperen, gonna do the slide job right in front of Boodle.
Yeah, Boodle, again, just left the door way too wide open. Seems like Boodle is preferring to run the outside line, but there's not a lot of grip anywhere right now. You might as well make it as short of a race line as you can and run the inside. That's exactly what Owen Van Eperen did, and it paid off.
Yeah, you gotta try to tiptoe your way through on that bottom as we go into this 180. There's Owen trying to stay right close to those tractor tires as Boodle trying to go back to work.
Yeah, Boodle's keeping him honest down the front straightaway. Now Boodle's starting to follow Van Eperen through the door a little bit, but again, pushed a little bit wide. I'm wondering if Jeff Boodle maybe just missed a little bit on front tire group.
Yeah, he
seems like steering is giving him a little bit of issues.
Yeah, absolutely. He might have missed the setup just a little bit, but he might be set up for later in this race. So watch Jeff Boodle try to work his way back up to Owen Van Eperen.
That time he got the car to rotate really well through turn 2. Jeff Boodle did. Man, I'm loving what I'm seeing right now from Colin Kearns. He was a rookie in this class last year after racing in Sportsman side by side. Top 2 starting to separate just a little bit. See Kosmecki again, he was the top qualifier, and one of the Marquards up into the top 5 as well. That is Dylan Marquardt. He is from right here in Lena.
About 3.5 seconds behind our race leader. Remember, we have that mandatory competition caution coming out at the halfway point. It's all Van Eperen right now going through that infield section.
Yeah, it seems like Van Eperen just crawling away bit by bit from Jeb Boodle, and I think that comes down to what we've seen out of Boodle so far, the little tiny mistakes. Van Eperen's just not making any right now. He's so precise, so dialed in right from the drop of the green flag. Boodle definitely has the raw speed to keep up, but again, you have to limit those mistakes, especially with someone like Owen Van Eperen.
Yeah, my eyes are telling me that Boodle's really digging deep into that dirt. He's starting to reel back in Owen Van Eperen. So like we talked about earlier, maybe that setup's just changed a little bit as this track starts to dry out. Heading back what will be our finish line jump. Clicking off another lap.
Colin Kearns still there in 3rd. Kosmecki, the top qualifier, still in 4th. The battle up front rages on. Van Eperen out of Appleton, Wisconsin. Boodle out of Yemassee, South Carolina. Yeah, now Boodle, it seems like the race line, the racetrack's coming to him a little bit.
Yeah, it really is. You watch it, the apex in those turns a little bit wider to get that inside exit.
Doesn't have to force the car to rotate quite so hard. Seems like it's working with him a little bit instead of against him now.
There's Boodle now really reeling in Owen. We'll see going down in this hellhole if he can cross him back up. Look at him rotating it early.
Yeah, he tried that 1 lap ago. I don't know if it's gaining him anything, but he's certainly not losing any time to Owen Van Eperen. Green flag is going to stay out, so at least 1 more lap before halfway. And there, the field will go by CJ Greaves once again. You saw just a glimpse of the Monster Energy number 33. Not the way he wanted to start his title defense in pro stock. CJ Greaves already a lap down in this one. That interval staying about the same over these last couple laps though, Brent.
Yeah, about the same there. Identical lap times the last time by at 55.276. So they are flat out flying here at Lena. Look at Owen trying to hold on to that spot as Kearns, he might have another shot at this thing though coming up. As that halfway point will be coming out this time by as you see CJ Greaves just limping around.
Yeah, something just not quite right on that number 33 Monster Energy car. Halfway flags are out. Boodle one last shot at it, but he will settle for second at halfway. Owen Van Epperen, your leader. Colin Kearns, Jake Kosmecki running third, fourth. Dylan Marquardt and Jake Jorgensen running fifth and sixth. So our top six kind of split into three different battles there. How about that? Fastest lap of the first half, Brent, run by Jake Jorgensen, the car that is sitting in sixth place. You talk about how evenly matched this field is, the depth of talent in this field. Fastest car on the racetrack, stuck in sixth place right now.
Yeah, so this could be a whole different ballgame. He's going to have another shot at this thing as Owen Van Epperen doing what he needs to do, running out front. All right, we're going to go down trackside. What do you have for us, Haley?
Well, where did we leave off with Jeb Boodle in 2023? He ended the season with a meteoric rise to the top. In the pro side-by-side class, he won the final round in Oklahoma, and he had a second in the pro stock class. So that meteoric rise to the top, he all credited to, like you guys have already talked about in this very race, it's minimizing those mistakes. He's been gathering that intel along the way, and he's been bringing it in this one. So I expect him to see him continue the fight against Owen Van Epperen, who, by the way, brand new car this year. Talked to team owner and his father, Rodney Van Epperen. He said, we're super satisfied to see where this car is at, especially validating that in yesterday's qualifying.
Yeah, Owen Van Epperen, he's going to be tough to beat here in this second half. He just knows how to get the job done. His father, Ronnie Van Epperen, got him involved in this sport and just done so many great things for the side-by-side divisions throughout these years. And man, he's another young gun. It'd be nice to see him keep moving up through these ranks.
Yeah, it says a lot about the quality and the youth movement that's going on in pro stock with CJ, who is not old by any means, is one of the older guys in this class. A lot of the field quite a bit younger than CJ. We're going to get back to it. Owen Van Epperen, Jeb Boodle, Colin Kearns, Jake Kosmecki, and the hometown kid, Dylan Marquardt, your top five.
We'll see if Boodle has anything up his sleeve in this second half. There's Kearns trying to make something happen as well. See in this 180 how they can exit. Wow, look at the big run by Kosmecki on the outside.
Trying to go the long way around. It did not pay off for him. Meanwhile, Kearns and Boodle made a little bit of contact. How about this? 3 wide as they go into turn number 3. Everybody just trying to find any kind of space on the racetrack.
See Jorgensen trying to use his front bumper to move some cars out of the way. There is our race leaders as Kearns is really putting the pressure on Boodle now.
Yeah, I feel like Kearns was maybe hanging back just a little bit toward the end of that first half run. Kosmecki not going away either. Our top 4 starting to run away from everybody else once again. But this is anyone's game. 2 minutes left on the race clock. We won't see the white flag till after that clock hits 0.
Boy, Kearns is right where he needs to be. He's trying to capitalize on that spot. Jeff Boodle gonna try to stay on that bottom side. Nowhere to go is Kearns, but he might open the door.
Yeah, Kearns just gave him a little tap on the bumper and upset Boodle's car. Now it's a drag race. And their wheels were touching. You can see the smoke coming off the tires. Both of those guys just leaning on one another, and Boodle able to slam the door again, but my goodness, Kearns is hungry right now.
Yeah, Kosmecki trying to make his way into that top 3. Kearns gonna try to work his way up to the back of Boodle once again.
Another lap in the books. Just over 1 minute to go on the race clock. That should be 3 laps to go that time by.
Kearns not going anywhere. He's trying to muscle his way inside and outside, trying every line possible. He looks faster than Boodle right now.
He is nearly pasted on the back bumper of Boodle. Look at him shoot the gap. Boodle overcooked it, might have stalled the car. Big trouble for the 41 of Jeb Boodle. That moves Kearns up into second. Kosmecki now into the top 3. And Tyson Marquardt now into 4th.
This is not over yet. Look at Kearns really putting the loud pedal down, trying to reel in our race leader with under a minute to go.
Should be 2 laps to go the next time by the finish line. I'm trying to take a look at what the lap times are going to be from this previous lap here. Kearns absolutely flying right now, trying to catch back up to Owen Van Epperen. But Van Epperen just a little bit quicker than Kearns, so Maybe this race just belongs to Owen Van Epperen. We'll find out as the race clock expires, and the next flag we see will be the white flag.
Yeah, Van Epperen opening up that gap just a little bit more, just trying to tiptoe his way through those turns. You see the track starting to go away. You have to really rely on that cushion.
Yeah, and remember it started out a little bit on the wet side. That's just how fast this track gets chewed up. You got 15 of these pro stock side-by-sides tearing up that dirt surface. Yeah, Kearns is running out of time now. He's got to find a little bit something extra. Not for lack of trying, though. The second half, he has really turned it up.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to do nothing stupid here in the end. You want to get these championship points under your belt. That is the final lap started by Owen Van Epperen, 1 to go. The kid is just such a young gun in this sport. He really knows how to get the job done. He's very quick. He's smart. He knows how to be patient. And once he gets out front, it's really hard to chase him back down.
Yeah, and you can tell Van Epperen driving extra conservatively now. He already hardly ever makes mistakes, but he's got a little bit of breathing room now. He can dial it back just a little bit more and make sure that he can bring this thing home. Kearns just hoping for one more opportunity to try to make a move here, but Van Epperen starting to stretch it out just a little bit more. One final time through the hellhole, turn number 5, and on to the front straightaway. Owen Van Epperen, your round 1 winner here at Pro Stock side-by-side, but what a day for Kearns. That's a statement finish for Colin Kearns there to be on the podium in second. How about Kosmecki? Great start to his season. Top qualifier, picks up the bonus points for that, lands on the podium in round 1. Again, the word of the day, opportunity. CJ Greaves out of this race early. That's an opportunity for other drivers. Yeah, you have to capitalize on your opportunities. And nobody did it better than Van Epperen, man.
Yeah, he did what he needed to do, and that's what it takes here in AMSOIL Championship Off-Road as the Power Sports 1 Yamaha getting it done.
You see our full unofficial results. Van Epperen, Kearns, Kosmecki, the hometown boy last year's.
Waiting in line for service, sideline your machine. Eliminate the wait and save money by doing it yourself. AMSOIL makes it easy with oil change kits that include exactly what you need in one convenient package. Choosing the right kit is also easy. Just plug your ride into our guide at AMSOIL.com and have your kit shipped right to your door. Upgrade to specially engineered products with AMSOIL and spend more time riding. Order now at AMSOIL.com.
And in the same vein of getting some answers I have preseason, this is a great way to start the season. Jake Kosmecki. Jake, this feels important to start the season off like this. What's the significance of this podium to you and the team at round 1?
Last year kicked our butt for sure. We had, I think, 7 DNFs, which was not good. So we went home this winter, did our homework. We knew we had to come back swinging. Qualified first yesterday, pulled a 4, and just currently make the passes we need to. But track was good out there. I can't thank Race Driven enough, Jody Hickman enough, my team, the Greaves, Lakes Construction, everyone that helps us out. We wouldn't be here without them. And thanks, Chan, for hosting it.
A job well done. Jake Kosmecki, P3. Colin Kearns. Colin, you had your hands full out there for a while battling for the second place position. So what were some of the challenges you were faced with?
I had the race in front of me and race behind me because I had Jake behind me and I had Boodle and Owen in front of me. So, it was a offense-defense kind of game the whole race.
A job well done.
Thank you.
Colin Kearns, P2.
Way to go, Colin!
And Owen Van Eperen showing up with a brand new car and further validated it with an incredible win. So talk me through the moment of the race where you found your way to the lead and then you carried it.
Yeah, like you said, we brought in a brand new car this year. All three of our cars are brand new this year. 24 Yamaha YXZs, and as you can tell, they're just as good as they were before and probably even better. So it feels super good to get up here, and I just knew I had to get to the front right away. And CJ broke, and I knew I had to get Jeb as quick as I could before halfway and stuff. So he left the door open. I slid up under him and was able to get in front, and just made sure to run my lines. My dad was up in the spotters tower just telling me, hit your lines, don't make mistakes, and you got this. And I knew I had to do that, and that's what I did. So huge shout out to all the fans for coming out. Super cool to see all you out here. A lot of my family's out here, being the closest race to home. So super cool to do it in front of them, but just can't thank all my sponsors enough. Everyone at Yamaha Racing, Steve, Donnie, Glenn, Jim, all you guys do so much for me, and I won't be here without you. Power Sports 1, Vance and Hines, Balin Building, Sparko stepped up huge this year, Yamalube, Demon Axles, Beyond Redline, them guys do pretty much everything to my race cars, and that's huge thanks to them. John Fitzgerald did all the fab work, and they look sick. Hoosier Tires, PCI Race Radios, Victory Sign, and Hayes Brakes, and all my friends and family. Thank you guys.
Enjoy this. Congratulations. Owen Van Eperen, top honors for Pro Stock Side-by-Side Round 1.
Thank you very much, Haley. We have a lot more racing yet to come, and next up, we're going back truck racing. Pro Lite. Don't go anywhere. You're watching AMSOIL Championship Off-Road.
If you're looking for the inside scoop as well as exclusive offers and content, you're going to take out your phone, you're going to text CHAMP to 267645, and then go say hi to your local AMSOIL dealer located on site at all of our national events. Show them the reply text, and you're going to get a Bryce Menzies t-shirt. Again, text CHAMP 267645. AMSOIL, the first in synthetics and proud supporter of AMSOIL Championship Off-Road.
Yeah, I got that right turn. We're good.
Don't let waiting in line for service sideline your machine. Eliminate the wait and save money by doing it yourself. AMSOIL makes it easy with oil change kits that include exactly what you need in one convenient package. Choosing the right kit is also easy. Just plug your ride into our guide at AMSOIL.com and have your kit shipped right to your door. Upgrade to specially engineered products with AMSOIL and spend more time riding. Order now at AMSOIL.com.
For more than 2 decades, Heater Bodysuit has been the go-to product to keep hunters warm and comfortable in the stand. With proven Thinsulate insulation, a windproof barrier, and a water-resistant outer shell, you can be 100% confident cold is not in your future. Available in multiple camo patterns and sizes to fit any hunter's needs. You stay warm, or your money back, guaranteed. Learn more at heaterbodysuit.com.
You love Champ Off-Road. Show your love and get your AMSOIL Championship Off-Road merchandise today by visiting the official merch trailer or shopping online at shop.isouthRacing.com, where you'll find tour tees, hoodies, outerwear, hats, ladies and kids wear. And make sure you stop by the AMSOIL Championship Off-Road official merchandise trailer.
This is all of the hard work and all of those late nights culminating to this moment, and that feeling is just, man, it is unreal.
Yeah, the reason it's so important to have a reliable set of brakes is a lot of these corners we're coming into at 90 miles an hour. It's all about confidence. If you know you're going to stop, you're going to go into that corner a lot faster. If you don't know you're going to stop, you're probably going to slow down earlier. So that's the biggest reason. It's all about confidence in off-road racing. So Hayes Brakes, we've been working with them guys for 3-4 years now. Me and Owen really got to know them guys good. We really trust them, like working with them, and their product is second to none. So it's confidence inspiring.
I'm Len Groom, Market Manager at AMSOIL. We are talking about Signature Series motor oils. So AMSOIL Signature Series, they're designed specifically for protection in several key areas. They use a very, very high quality premium base stock, very, very potent additive combination, and that will help to control thermal and chemical breakdown. It also helps maintain viscosity for up to 25,000 miles. AMSOIL Signature Series comes in many different viscosities no matter what you're driving, whether it's a passenger car, a light truck, or a heavy truck. We've got you covered. For more information, check out AMSOIL.com.
Tread victoriously with Maxxis.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at AMSOIL.com.
Tread victoriously with Maxxis.
For more than 2 decades, Heater Bodysuit has been the go-to product to keep hunters warm and comfortable in the stand. With proven thin-solate insulation, a windproof barrier, and a water-resistant outer shell, you can be 100% confident cold is not in your future. Available in multiple camo patterns and sizes to fit any hunter's needs. You stay warm, or your money back, guaranteed. Learn more at heaterbodysuit.com.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at AMSOIL.com.
Don't let waiting in line for service sideline your machine. Eliminate the wait and save money by doing it yourself. AMSOIL makes it easy with oil change kits that include exactly what you need in one convenient package. Choosing the right kit is also easy. Just plug your ride into our guide at AMSOIL.com and have your kit shipped right to your door. Upgrade to specially engineered products with AMSOIL and spend more time riding. Order now at AMSOIL.com.
That's Kyle Greaves' truck from last year. He's from Bennington, Nebraska. He starts 6th. Grant Stephen, another rookie in the field, comes from Oakland, can step up and challenge Trey Gibbs.
Yeah, Carson Parrish, it's good to see him back in the field. He's very, very fast anytime he gets behind the wheel. As we're about ready to go green flag racing. Yeah, it's really hard to tell these drivers to just tone it back a little bit. You get behind that wheel, you just want to get up and go.
Well, I wasn't going to tell him. I thought you were. Johnny Holger looking very good at his hometown track, though.
Truck really landed nicely through that infield section. There's Trey Gibbs.
Yeah, I think Holger's truck that he was racing the last couple of years, he was never fully comfortable in, so maybe the new truck gives him some good mojo a little bit, work out a little better for him. He didn't have the greatest luck last year either.
Yeah, he said the truck is really, really quick. Just trying to dial that thing in round 1. He had some practice time under his belt. Just trying to be flawless, and that's so hard in these pro lights. They bike up on 2 wheels a lot of the time. You've got to stay in that throttle. You see those wheels just spinning, kicking that roost out. The minute you stop that roost from coming out, sometimes you end up upside down.
Pro Light, they're so fast, but the suspension's so limited, so narrow, it almost seems like more than any other pro class, the truck itself is trying to fight you at every turn. You're trying to make it do one thing, the truck doesn't want to do what you want to make it do. Maybe as compared to like Pro 2 where you and the truck can really work together.
Right, and that's what
Pro
John
Lights are
said.
tough to drive, man.
Yeah, and that's what Johnny Holger said. This new truck, he feels really comfortable. You see him seesawing that wheel, and oh, Gibbs goes around.
That's going to let Carson Parrish, the man from Terrell, Texas, back up into the 2nd spot. Matt Wood in a podium spot once again as well. Wood made the switch to Kendon Tire this offseason. Let's take another look at what happened to Gibbs there.
Yeah, he's just coming in a little too hot, too heavy. It didn't get his right rear up on, or that left rear up on the cushion, and that's what happened.
Yeah, a little bit overcooked into that right-hander. So Gibbs has his work cut out for him now. He'll have to make up a couple spots to challenge for this race win. How about Johnny Holger? The truck's looking very good out front, and he has a comfortable lead now over Parrish and the rest of the game.
Yeah, that Yokohama Tires Ford just digging deep. Like you said, it's his hometown track. He's got a lot of friends and family out here trying to impress him, and he's doing what he needs to do early, and that truck looks very clean.
Yeah, you can see him just sawing the wheel back and forth. You contrast that with Parrish. It looks like he kind of just set the truck and hammered down.
The steering is just so like tight on these trucks. They have so much throw in the steering racks. Some of these guys are running a Pro 2 steering rack underneath the hood, so it gives them that much more throw. So if you get upset with the truck, you can carry that around.
Yeah, steering angle almost like a drift car on some of these trucks.
Yeah, for sure. Parrish now, good to have him back. Oh, Wood goes around.
Basically the same mistake that we saw Gibbs make, just overcooked it a little bit coming into that corner. So Wood falls back a spot, Gibbs in a podium position once again, but everybody trying to chase down the hometown kid, Johnny Holcher.
There's Matt Wood in that Kenda Tire back ride. We're expecting some big things out of him in 2024. Just raising that tractor tire.
Yeah, Wood's been close to winning races a couple different times, but hasn't been able to make it happen yet. Parrish has been a winner in Champ Off-Road and ERX a couple years ago. Of course, Holcher, a former champion here in the Pro Lights from a couple years back, so regrouping with the new truck as you see some trouble for Tyler Rimmery, the number 43. It's like he spun out in that right-hander as well.
Yeah, Parrish really trying to dig, getting Johnny Holger. There's that Yokohama Tires 44. He'll be doing triple duty this weekend. He'll be coming out later in the Pro 2 and the Pro 4 divisions. So a lot of thinking going on underneath that helmet.
Well, you talk about a confidence booster, the fact that he's running out front like this against this Pro Light field. If you can keep this together, you can walk into that Pro 2 race with your head held high, knowing that you've got some mojo working at your hometown track.
Yeah, and seat time's everything. We talked about CJ Greaves growing up, running multiple different classes. That gives you a shot to see how that track deteriorates through the weekend, and that's what John's going to benefit from, going class to class. By the time he gets into Pro 2, you have way more horsepower, right? You can depend on that cushion. Here, you really have to finesse that throttle, as you're seeing that there's steam coming out of the top of that truck.
The 44 of Holcher starting to run a little bit hot. This could not happen at a better time for Holcher. We have reached the halfway point, so just in time to bring those temps down a little bit.
Yeah, there's overflow coming out of the top of that truck.
It's running a little bit hot there. Parrish across the line in second. Gibbs third at halfway. Wood is fourth, and Carson Brown in his Pro Light debut in the top 5. Again, he comes from Pro Dirt late model racing. Also races on the Cars Tour, Carson Brown does.
Boy, she's warm in that truck, that 44 HBI ride.
Yeah, you can see him looking at the gauges right now.
Yeah, he really is. He's talking to his crew, trying to see what's going on, and definitely a little warm. Tough break right now. You know, you hope that it's just a little bit too much of the overflow just pushing out.
Well, now we're going to go down trackside. Haley, what else do you have for us on John Holcher?
Well, John Holcher is downright impressive, and I would have a hard time believing that his experience, and of course winning his first ever Pro 2 race and all that he's accomplished in that class, but he made his debut in Pro 4 last year, so I would have a really hard time believing that that's not playing into the run that we're seeing from John Holcher now leading this race, a dominant first half. So excited to see what he brings in the second, but like you guys said, I believe it was CJ Greaves who had said for years, I'm making more laps than the water truck. So all that extra time on track can only suit him well.
Thank you very much, Haley. And yeah, that's a good one. More laps than the water truck, if that isn't correct. I mean, that's what it takes is seat time. I don't care what you're driving. As long as you're behind the wheel, you're doing that mind game with yourself, trying to feel comfortable in any vehicle you get in.
Right, and every lap you run, everything you learn about the racetrack and how it's changing, that multiplies. You can stack all that information on top of itself. You can really understand the dirt better than anyone. We'll see how we can put that understanding to work here in the second half of Pro Light. It is Holcher, Parrish, Gibbs, Wood. Look at it, Glazy just pushing on the back bumper of Wood. The recent high school graduate trying to make some noise here in round 1.
Yeah, Johnny Holger with a great restart. Carson Parrish, he got caught sleeping. Here comes Trey Gibbs now on the bottom.
See how much the track changed from 2-3 laps ago on that right-hander. There's a big wide dry line now as Parrish and Gibbs tangle a little bit more. There goes Trey Gibbs on by into second.
Look at that drive coming out of that infield section. Look at Gibbs just hanging it out next to the K-rail. Oh, Wood goes around.
More trouble for Matt Wood. It's our three-way battle for the lead rages on. Yeah, I'm thinking Gibbs maybe was set up a little bit more for second half track conditions. Just immediately looks quicker here after this restart.
Yeah, he really does. He's running actually right up on top of that cushion. Johnny's just putting it on the fine line. as these tires throughout this race start to go away at the end. They really get torn up. As Parrish not letting Gibbs get away too far. Two different lines now in that infield section. Before, you had to either go outside or stay right next to that tractor tire, but the track is really coming in.
And Gibbs just slowly reeling in John Holcher as they go down the backstretch. Two separate battles, three-way battles going on the track right now. Saw a glimpse of the second battle as our lead pack went past our camera there.
Look at that drive. Gibbs gets out. He's all over the back bumper of Johnny Holger.
Well, we saw that steam out of Holcher. I haven't seen any since, so certainly the truck cooled down a little bit during the caution lap. But also sometimes when you don't see steam anymore, that's a really bad sign because it means there's no water left in the cooling system.
Yeah, John's not turning back now. He finds himself out front, so hopefully he's babysitting that temperature. As Gibbs, look at him just power slide into that 180. Gibbs now going to try to set up Holger coming into this 180.
Yeah, Gibbs definitely driving the racetrack a little bit more aggressively right now. Again, dives down to the bottom. Not quite enough grip to pull alongside Johnny Holcher. Gibbs is going to fall back in line once again.
Oh, Johnny really pushes through that infield section, going into the hellhole. There's that Yokohama Tires 44 trying to dig deep to get away from Gibbs.
He knows Gibbs is there. Gibbs has been showing him a wheel a couple different times on that last lap. Just under 2 minutes to go on the race clock. Still a lot to be decided in this battle for the race lead. You see a glimpse of Parrish there, still running in the third spot. No pressure on Carson Parrish from behind right now.
Truck working so nicely through those jumps. Gibbs, that body panel, it's replaceable. Just fell off the bedside of that truck. Look at Gibbs just hard on the loud pedal, trying to beat him there. It's almost gonna come down to a drag race from straightaway to corner.
Yeah, and man, if Gibbs could have got just a little bit better hookup there, he could have really forced the issue and maybe moved Holcher off the race line. Wasn't quite close enough to make it happen that time. You see this track starting to come apart through that sweeper. Rougher and rougher every time these trucks go through that section.
Johnny Holger still finding himself out in front of this pro-light field. The HBI ride number 44 Impact on board as well, keeping him looking pretty in that truck.
Well, they're racing against the clock right now. I think they should have 3 laps to go that last time by. Here comes the steam once again from Johnny Holcher's truck. So those temperatures climbed back up after that restart. There's no doubt that Gibbs sees that. He's going to turn up the heat a little bit more here on Holcher.
Yeah.
Oh, in trouble for Gibbs. He overcooked it again in that right-hander.
Wow, that is a gift given to Johnny Holger, but he's been doing such a fine job staying out front, not making any mistake, and that's what it takes here in Pro Light. You can catch up to a guy on the back bumper, but it's another thing to try to get around him.
It's also a blessing for Holger because now he can dial back his pace just a little bit. Maybe try to manage the temperatures of that truck.
I just hope he has enough water in that thing to make it to the end.
Well, and bad news for him is they're going to beat the clock back to the line, so 2 laps to go that time. If this race would have gone 3 seconds slower, that would have been the white flag, so Holcher's got to make it around 2 more times. No doubt about it, temperatures continue to rise in the 44.
Yeah, I don't think he's worried about those gauges on his dash. He's just trying to make it to the finish. Just driving hard. He knows that Gibbs is there.
Might be one of those situations where you cross the finish line, as soon as you're past the checkers, you're shutting the truck off. Bring those temps back down as fast as you can.
You were talking earlier how John, he wasn't too comfortable in that truck last year. Now they built him a brand new truck. Wanted it out there for last season, yeah, and he just looks really fast in there, and look how clean it is. We should be coming to the white flag, and that water is just pouring out of the top of the number plates.
1 lap to go for John Holcher. He's got the pace, but will his truck last that long? That is the question. Gibbs just over 1.5 seconds behind in second.
Boy, John just driving through those turns. There is Gibbs now trying to put that pressure on as the bed sides are starting to come apart on Johnny Holger. But man, what a great day this would be if he could capitalize on it. The first day in the brand new truck, had some test time, not a lot. He put it away and said that, hey, the truck's pretty fast. Well, he's proven us right now.
Yeah, just a couple of corners to go. He'll go through this big left-hand sweeper, the GoPro corner. The back section of the course, over that tabletop and down into the hellhole for the final time. More steam pouring out of the top of the overflow there. But he is going to get the job done. The truck held on for him. John Holcher, your round one winner here in Pro Lite. Trey Gibbs, one mistake too many, I think, from Trey Gibbs. He'll have to settle for second. And Carson Parrish, hey man, welcome back to Champ Off-Road. He will land on the podium in third. Carson Brown, fourth in his Pro Lite debut. And Tyler Remery raced in Pro Lite last year, but back with a new truck for this year, will finish in fifth.
The Yokohama HBI Impact Ride really doing a wonderful job. That truck is definitely hot. As you can see, all the
pouring out
overflows.
everywhere. Another look at the full results there. Unfortunately, Matt Wood, after battling in the lead pack early on, unable to finish that one. Holcher, the man of the hour, he gets to celebrate for all of about 20 minutes before he's got to go jump into Pro 2 and get to staging. Gibbs with a strong start to his season, and Carson Parrish back in Champ Off-Road and back on the podium, and we'll be back right after this. Stay with us here on AMSOIL Championship Off-Road.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
Yeah, the reason it's so important to have a reliable set of brakes is a lot of these corners we're coming into at 90 miles an hour. It's all about confidence. If you know you're going to stop, you're going to go into that corner a lot faster. If you don't know you're going to stop, you're probably going to slow down earlier. So that's the biggest reason. It's all about confidence in off-road racing. So Hayes Brakes, we've been working with them guys for 3-4 years now. Me and Owen really got to know them guys good. We really trust them, like working with them, and their product is second to none. So it's confidence inspiring.